Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bat Friends Beyond podcast, episode number 131. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside the world champion, Joe. How we doing, Joe?
Magnets. How the fuck do they work?
That popped up in my real life recently.
Oh, that's going to pop up when we get to this episode, but you go ahead with your story.
I don't remember how it popped up in my real life. I just remember I was watching or listening to something, and somebody said, referenced magnets, and then the other host is just like, how do those work? And I'm like, okay.
So the greatest irony, maybe not the greatest irony, but one of the great ironies of our time, is that the insane clown posse, if you will, Whoop Whoop, made a song.
Juggalo Nation, everybody.
Where are they called the Juggalo Nation?
I don't know.
They are now. Made a song where they said, magnets, how do they work? And scientists always be lying and they're pissing me off. And yet, they were among the first to support vaccination for the health and safety of the Juggalo Nation. So, what I'm trying to say is, we don't live in the real world. Wake up!
The Hadron Collider actually opened up us to an alternate dimension. We're not living in the real world. The entire Earth was sucked into it and spit out to a different universe. We live in a fantasy world.
What if... I'm really just I'm laughing, thinking of somebody listening to this episode and getting really freaked out. What if we just became a conspiracy podcast right now?
On a similar note, driving down the throughway today.
Oh boy.
Come to a stop sign, look to my right.
Wait, there's a stop sign on the throughway?
It's like right before you... Well, so, you know in like Irondequoit where beside the throughway there's those
the throughway doesn't go to Irondequoit. You're talking about the interstate.
They're all the fucking same.
No, the throughway is different.
I don't care. They're all the same.
You're talking like 104. Okay, go ahead.
Those roads on the side.
Yeah.
And then they all eventually merge.
Yes.
So I was going from one street and I had to go down a few to get to the merge point. I get to a stop sign and I look to my right and there's a giant sticker on the guardrail.
Oh, okay.
Infowars.com. I also found out recently that a guy I went to high school with who's a programmer at some company now.
Sure.
Actually, he's in charge of like customer relations for this program.
Okay.
Their company is now working with Infowars.com. So I have an in on Infowars. I don't know if that's...
So Infowars is one of those weird things for me that I actually watched it grow. Like I never went there, thankfully. But like, back when he started, I knew people that would bring up, I'm not even going to say his name, would bring up Infowars and people. And then I watched the stickers start to get plastered on. I mean, and you know, we saw him a lot, I think, because that was the 9/11 was an inside job. And then it kind of died down a little bit. But then it keeps coming back. Because, you know, it's easier to say that frogs are gay than deal with the reality of life.
Well, that's just science. I forgot what I was going to say. But go
Wake up! What?
No, so I don't know if... I was told through a third party that was true. So I don't know if it's true. But in my head, it is true. Because that just means any time I could contact this person I knew years ago and have a possible end.
Gotcha. For a second, I'm like, wait, what are we talking about that's not true now? I got lost. Too many pronouns, pal.
It's true.
The one piece of Vince McMahon advice that I think is actually very good and will always say in that voice, because that was something when they would talk about like creative meetings and whatever, or even commentary, because obviously he had a hand in commentary. And people would start using too many pronouns to the point where you would lose track of, like, well, who are you talking about? Mm-hmm. And that's what he'd say, like, too many pronouns, pal. Vince McMahon's a weird guy. Wake up!
So we're going to watch Season 2, Episode 3 of Batman Beyond, titled ICP Nation.
Whoop, whoop.
or as they call it, Joyride. Written by Stan Berkowitz and directed by Butch Lukic. I started going into my comic talk and saying art by my...
Oh. Yeah. That would be good, too. See, now let's talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about this. This won't upset anybody. So there's a lot of talk about creator credits on comic books. And people bring up, well, the artist obviously, the penciler obviously has some heavy lifting, and then, if it's the inker is there too, and then the colors and the layouts, and the balloons, the lettering. What about animation?
Yep.
An animator does more work than literally anybody else in the show, because they have to match to dialogue as well as direct the action.
But they're known as a studio,
right? Yep. Just a thought, just a thing, because you do the credit. Who gets the credits? Written by and directed by. Just
because that's it's happening with lettering more than anything. Where you're seeing more studios pop up.
Yeah. Well, that everything old is new again. There was a period in the past where that happened too.
Well, I always see, and I like the government's using UFO technology.
Clearly.
I appreciate the sentiment when people are like, we need
He made a poop joke. Go ahead.
Poop's funny. We need to credit artists and all that more often.
Yes. Agreed 100%.
Yeah, agreed 100%. Problem is, there's 4 artists per book.
Right.
So I have a hard enough time remembering the fucking writer's name.
Well,
and that's a me problem.
Sure. And that's the thing where that's where you have the question of, so do we roll back? Do we say, well, no credits go on the cover because there's not enough room?
There should always be credits on the cover. That's not an issue for me.
I'm just saying because comics didn't have credits on the cover at one point for a long time. So that's what I'm saying.
For me, from where I sit, it's from the commentator standpoint of who do we credit?
Right. I gotcha.
Because I always credit art writer.
Yeah. I gotcha.
And that's not necessarily fair, especially in a world where I'm constantly complimenting colorists, but...
Right. But again, that's where it becomes... He's
a juggalo now.
He is. Literally my notes. Jokers equal juggalos. But it's one of those things where there's no, easy answer. There's no simple answer. But, there was a time where in the studio system, you would have, even if it was credited to a studio, or if it was a studio system, if it was credited to a single artist and the people worked underneath them, they would do everything. They would do layouts. They would do the pencils. They would do the inks. So that's where you had one credit, even though it was multiple people doing it. And the issue becomes that with now the corporatization of the process, and not in a bad way, but just as a statement, as a label, you have all these people that have never even met, potentially, or had any contact with each other, all working on the same product.
That's why I think, honestly, Japan has it figured out.
Okay. Explain to me what that is.
Because the manga system is you have artists.
Whatever, yeah.
But they have so if Toriyama, who does DBZ, he has a studio. He has people that works under him. Yeah. He doesn't draw all that shit.
Right.
He draws most, or he maybe pencils all of it.
Sure.
But he has people that works under him that draw with him. So it's a teamwork to get those books put out. And it works almost as an apprenticeship, where those people can then, at some point, move on to get their own thing, because they've made contacts, they've worked in the industry, they've done their thing. But when you get your first book, a lot of times, you're by yourself, so it's just like anywhere else. Like, you gotta bust your ass to get it popular, and now it's popular. Hey, you want money for a studio? And it becomes a little easier. I think one of the other issues that you see that why maybe it works in the manga system and not for us is... Color.
Yes. No. Stolen credit. Like, Japan societally has a much more system of honor and respect.
Yeah.
And the reason why the studio system went away with here was because you had people working for peanuts doing all the work.
So to my knowledge, and mind you, I'm far from an expert on manga.
Sure.
If you work for a studio there, you don't get any credit.
That's what I mean. So what I'm saying is, you may not get the credit, but you have your pay, and you have the credit within the industry. So you don't get credit on the actual books.
Yeah.
But you can put it on your resume. I worked under this studio and worked on these books. So it carries with it a cachet. Whereas here, because of how we are, that would get trampled on because, well, I don't want you stealing my artist. And it's like, no, that's not how this... You can't look at it that way. Like, it has to be looked at as, we're bringing up the next generation to proliferate. And instead it became, no, it's all my money. And I keep, it becomes a different thing.
Okay.
That's what so I don't mean credit on a book. I mean credit within the industry to proceed.
Mm-hmm. This is a good gag.
This is a good gag. But this is also why I said jokers equal juggalos.
Yeah. Take secret military spaceship and
through the drive-thru.
Yeah, go get burgers.
But Beefy says it's on the house.
Sir, I can't really do that. What did Beefy do to the jokers?
I mean, he was there. Beefy says... Just throwing burgers at him. Turned his lights on because he's a safe driver.
Yes. But remember how violent it went through the drive-thru, and then when they left, all of a sudden it's this big open drive-thru.
Yeah, I know. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da. Bruce just be like, the fuck's it going? God damn it, Terry.
I didn't agree to this.
It's not a toy. I'm Batman.
Where's my Batmobile?
Oh, it's in the sky. Stop hitting the block.
The block. Means I found an item. Preferably a Pokeball.
Uh-huh. 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 Uh-huh.
Generic chase scene.
Oh, the Turtles shit's coming out soon. I think Shredder's Revenge is supposed to be supposed to be June. Unless you've seen something else. Because they've been kind of low-key on the release dates.
Yeah, but I thought the collection was supposed to come out first.
I thought, well, see, I don't know if that was our assumption. Because we got a date from the collection, or we got some kind of date from the collection first. Because the complete collection, which sold out too fast for me, I was going to buy it. Did I tell you that? The big, super crazy edition they were going to do?
Oh.
I was going to.
I love the poster they made.
Yes, and I love the 3D diorama. Like, there's so much in this I think is really cool.
The diorama's cool, too.
And my position was, I'll buy it and just sell the game. Like, I just want the extra stuff. Like, I'll get the game on digital. I don't care.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I think the PS5 version's still for sale, so I might just buy that anyway and then flip it.
Yeah.
Because I want the extras. I don't, like... I'll get the game somewhere else.
Yeah.
But all the other stuff's really cool. Like, I even sent it to my buddy, again, Gil, because he was a big Tournament Fighters fan. And I go, they made cards for the Tournament Fighters characters, and they never make stuff for them. He's like, oh.
Yeah, even as, like, a... That's fantastic. Even as, like, a... sorta Turtles fan.
Yeah.
Like... I looked at all that stuff. Just the fact that there's a new poster with Eastman's art on it was enough. And I would buy the fuck out of that poster just on its own if it was around. But yeah, the diorama.
I should look. Cool. He'll probably actually auction some of that stuff off.
Probably.
Because that's what he does for everything else anyway.
Eastman's good people.
Were you reading Last Ronin?
Yes, but so I fell victim to it being late, so I have 2 issues sitting in my room right now, just waiting to be read.
Gotcha. Because there's a spread. I think it's a 1-page spread. That's in the last issue that I'm like, I wish I still got HeroClix because I want to fight with both these people because they look so cool. And it's one of those things I don't remember because I know we talked about it when it happened. Spoiler alert for Last Ronin #1 that came out like, what, a year and a half ago?
So, fuck you. It's not spoilers.
Mikey was the first turtle, technically.
Okay.
He's the first one they drew.
Yes.
And he's the last one. Everything comes full circle.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just really angry that I know I have to walk out in the rain right now.
Ha ha! Should have brought an umbrella.
Umbrellas are for quitters.
That's a weird thing. Are you going to sit on her lap? I don't think that's appropriate, sir.
I think he's trying to bang her.
So, do you recognize the voice from this?
I do, too. I was going to look it up.
She's been in a lot of stuff. Like, if you saw her face, you'd know her instantly. Yeah, I looked her up.
I didn't even know her voice is very recognizable, too.
But that's what I mean.
A lot of sitcoms and shit. Yeah.
I don't think she was the mom on Mom. But I think she was in Just Shoot Me.
So that's where I recognize her as Just Shoot Me. I was going to bring it up. I was like, nah, Joe doesn't know Just Shoot Me.
Oh, hell yeah, I know Just Shoot. Dude, never second guess my knowledge of shitty 90s sitcoms.
That's the problem, is I love shitty 90s sitcoms, and nobody else I know does, so I just assume that nobody knows these shows.
I was in love with her, with the daughter. I thought she was gorgeous. But yeah, it's her.
Yeah.
It's, whatchamacallit.
Yeah, she's in something else, too.
She's in a bunch. She's been in everything. Yeah. But yeah, because that's where I looked it up, so I'm like, it's got to be her. And then I saw the face, and I'm like, yep, Wendy Malick.
What else has she been on?
I don't know, everything. This is the part where Joe looks things up on the internets.
Ooh, it's a lady.
She was in the HBO sitcom Dream On.
Nope.
Let's see. Filmography. I'm just going to start reading them.
Yes, because it's more interesting than what's happening on
How to Pick Up Girls. Mr. Mike's Mondo Video.
Nope.
A Little Sex.
Nope.
Scrooged.
I saw that, but nope.
Funny About Love.
Nope.
Bugsy. The American President.
Nope.
Apollo 11. Just Add Love. Trojan War. North Shore Fish.
Is
Divorce.
Trojan War about fighting condoms?
Probably.
Okay.
Divorce, a contemporary western. Jerome. The Emperor's New Groove. Cahoots. On Edge. Manna from Heaven. Strange Frequency 2. Raising Genius. Stuck. Racing Stripes. Waiting. Who the fuck was she in Waiting? She was Nancy Mae Ross. Oh, she was his mom, I think.
Oh, wow.
Bratz, Rock Angels. Kronk's New Groove. Brother Bear 2.
Kronk's New Groove. Is that the...
She plays Chica.
Emperor's New Groove thing?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Brother Bear 2. Bratz. Passion for Fashion. Diamonds with a Z. I love that title. I hate that it exists, but I love that title. Eavesdrop. Waiting for Yvette. Adventureland. Confessions of a Shopaholic. The Goods. Live Hard, Sell Hard. Alvin and the Chipmunks. The Squeakle. Adventures of a Teenage Dragon Slayer. Knucklehead. About 50. What Happens Next? Jutopia. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo.
Is it?
It's Jutopia.
J-E-W?
Yes.
Okay.
Scooby-Doo and the Spooky Scarecrow. Do you? Endings, Beginnings. Beautiful Dreamer. Mac and Rita. The Re-Education of Molly Singer. Shriver. Mother of All Shows. Melly. Now, we'll go to television.
Can we start a podcast where you just read through IMDb and I react to it?
Sounds good to me.
Go ahead.
Saturday Night Live. One of the Boys. Trauma Center.
Nope.
Paper Dolls.
Nope.
Mike Hammer.
Nope.
Private Sessions.
Nope.
Kate and Alley.
Nope.
Another World.
Nope.
Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
Nope.
Highway to Heaven.
Nope.
Super Carrier.
Nope.
The Highwayman.
Nope.
Hunter.
Nope.
Anything But Love.
Nope.
The Ed Begley Jr. Show.
Nope.
Christine Cromwell.
Nope.
Baywatch. Recurring role, 7 episodes. Dream On, which we already talked about. The Finelli Boys.
Nope.
MacGyver.
Nope.
Dynasty, The Reunion.
Nope.
Civil Wars.
Nope.
The Human Factor.
Nope.
NYPD Blue.
Nope.
Family Album.
Nope.
Love and War.
Nope.
LA Law.
Nope.
The Commish.
Nope.
The Commish. Viper.
Nope.
Mad About You.
Nope.
Empty Nest.
Nope.
Tales from the Crypt. Her episode was In the Groove.
I've seen that.
Madonna, Innocence Lost.
Nope.
Heart to Heart.
Nope.
Secrets of the Heart.
Nope.
The Return of Hunter.
Nope.
Dweebs.
Was Dweebs a show, or are you commenting?
No, okay. Dweebs is a show.
No.
Seinfeld.
Oh, she's the one with the bad hairdo. That's what it is. She has the old-fashioned hairdo, and they try to get Kramer.
The kiss hello?
Yeah, and they try to get Kramer to talk to her because he's the only one that'll say something, like, inappropriate in front of her, but he ends up loving the hairdo.
So it's the 100th episode. In this episode, Kramer posts the names and photos of all the tenants in his apartment building on a board in the lobby so that everyone will know each other. I do remember that.
And Jerry takes the stance of the kiss hello.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sybil.
No.
Champs.
Nope.
Good Company.
Nope.
Good with an E behavior.
Nope.
Mr. Rhodes.
Nope.
The Single Guy.
Nope.
Boston Common.
Nope.
Life's Work.
Nope.
Perfect Body.
Nope.
Just Shoot Me.
Yes.
That was the joke I was going for. The X-Files.
No. Oh, yes. I kind of groove there for a minute. At some point, we got to talk about the fact that Mr. Terrific has a gang.
That's true. I did love that. Take my advice. The Ann and Abby story.
Nope.
Batman Beyond.
Yes. Obviously.
Oh, she's in Kim Possible too.
Nope.
No, she is. She's in Kim Possible.
No, that's my comment of me watching it.
Frasier. Recurring role, 10 episodes.
Who's she in Frasier?
2003 to 2004, so it's really late. Ronnie Lawrence?
That's probably why I don't recognize her.
Is Niles and Frasier's old babysitter and the first woman to break Frasier's heart.
Huh.
He used to watch her kiss her boyfriend through the balusters. She is also responsible for Niles' compulsive furniture wiping, as she told him stories when he was a child about earwigs laying eggs on all the furniture, which would hatch, crawl into his ears, and eat his brain.
So she's a terrible human.
In 2003, she meets Frasier by chance and soon starts dating Martin, whom she had a crush on as a teenager. That's weird. They get married the following year. That's weird. On May 15th, in the show's final episode, Goodnight, Seattle. So yeah, she's literally like the last season of the show.
You know why she married him? Because he has a wiener dog.
It's true. Well, it was on Eddie's birthday. That's the year they got married. Or when they got married was on Eddie's birthday. She released an album called Mood Swings and works as a lounge singer and pianist at the Wellington Club. Ronnie drives a red 1959 Cadillac Eldorado. Her traditionally minded, prudish mother lives in Spokane, Washington.
So Mr. Terrific has a gang.
Yeah, that was the most interesting part of the episode.
I'm so confused on why they chose Mr. Terrific.
I don't think they did. I think they just did the tease.
Well, yeah, but it's so obviously his. Like,
yeah, but they're all white, so it's not.
He died. I know he's a black man. He dies like he paints his fate white.
No, he doesn't. Mr. Terrific doesn't paint his face white.
I'm pretty sure he does. It's been a while since I read Mr. Terrific. So I'll be Mr. Terrific DC. Okay, you're right. Never mind. Thought he did.
Yeah, I know I'm right.
He's not a shitty DC character. It doesn't matter anyways.
I like Mr. Terrific.
He's fine. I did enjoy when they just decided, hey, let's do the Fantastic Four.
And call him
Mr. Terrific. Yeah.
Why do people think of this crazy shit?
Infowars.com.
I guess.
You should just do a like an onion thing with click stuff.
No. Somebody literally did that in 2020 and it quickly descended. Because people don't understand how hard parody is.
Yes.
So it very quickly turned mean because it's all about people. So it's like you can't just like there were a couple
you can't do it about people.
No, and that's just it. We're like
unless they're public figures, then free game.
Sure.
That's what you signed up for.
But in clicks, like nobody's a
I am no longer a juggalo.
In clicks, nobody's a public figure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I will never drink Faygo again.
I did though. I liked that the Terrifics were a gang. See, I actually like his character design too. It's just they have him sitting down the whole episode.
Yeah, he shows up in a few other
I know,
times,
but you know what I mean. It's just kind of a waste.
And this episode's fine. It
stretches.
It's one giant car chase.
Yes. There's not enough actually going on.
Yeah.
Like, it's an interesting premise. Oh, hey, the government has this high-tech technology.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're testing it out and it goes awry. So
everybody out there, let me know if you enjoyed us reading IMDb and me reacting to it.
Well, that lightning's going bright. I could see it out of the corner of my eye through the kitchen window.
And know that I'm going to die on the way home. So, Joe, speaking of dying on the way home, where can people find you on the internet?
Wake up. JoePank.com, JoePanc.com. You can go there, and there's all kinds of links. If you don't like links, you can go to EnjoyYourFrozenDick.com. That's where all the Bat Friends merchandise lives. And if you click around on that site, you'll find more. There's all kinds of cool stuff. I use bright colors, so enjoy it. You can follow me on Twitter at Cthulhu Holmes or Joe Pank. You can follow me on Instagram at JoePank36. If you want some sexy barbecue, you can go to OnlyFans.com/JoePank. If you want to give me money in other ways, you can go to Patreon.com and then / and then either type
it's just slash.
Joe Pank / No, there's a forward slash. There's a forward slash.
If you don't know the correct slash when you're typing in a address, then Darwinism takes over and you should just kill yourself.
See, so Chris said that. So don't give him money, give me money. / Joe Pank. I'm talking / Joe Pank or Clicks Nexus. Then look at my wares. Give me coin. Don't give Chris coin. He wants you to die. I love you and want you to wake up.
You can find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter at FortressComicNews.com. Remember, everybody, to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below. Also, to give us a 5-star review in the podcatcher of your choice. And to go to patreon.com/Fortress Comics. Thank you all so much for listening this week. We'll see you all here next week.